Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Craftsman die. This one's only got 3/4 inch threading dies in it. It's a 2A 3/4 14. It's a pipe thread. And one of the things I liked about it, which you saw before, was it had this 3-jaw chuck on it. Well, the 3-jaw chuck was really crapped up. It was full of junk. When I took it apart, I lost the spring. I made a special video about that, how you can avoid losing your springs. And I thought a better way to go is just build a jig. That way I won't lose them in the first place and have to go chasing after them. I'll show you how I did it. I worked like the dickens to get this thing apart. But now I'm thinking there's got to be a better way to get this thing back together again. For one thing, I want to have it so that all these pieces and parts don't go flying all over the place if I make a mistake. Even though I got the camera running, which is always a good idea, it lets me keep track of most of the things most of the time. I don't want to rely on that exclusively, thinking that I'm going to be okay. So I'm going to make a little fixture. Get the crap cleaned out of the 3-jaw here, which is really the only thing that I have any issues with as far as cleaning and getting running. This part is just fine. Still got the original paint on it, still good shape. I don't expect to make these a lot, or use this thing a lot. So, just a piece of scrap wood's probably going to do exactly what I need. Make a special tool. There we go. Now we're going to do a little bit of creative fabrication here. Take a 7/32 drill bit. Poke a few holes. Looks like this side is the side I want to put the part on. So I'll start the screw from this side. Use the bolt to tap a hole. It doesn't have to hold a whole lot of pressure. It just has to be there's kind of a little bump sticking out the other side. There we go. Now we set that over it. Yeah, that'll work just fine. Those are going to act to be a post for this spring to sit on. Well, for this little pin to sit on. And it's going to push that pin on out this side so I can clip that snap ring on it. Okay, I want to drill one more hole in there. This will be the clamping screw. Somewhere in the center. Over 20 years ago, when I was the facilities manager at Douglas Auto Tech, I had Coldwater Electric Motors provide tool service for me. And one of the things that they did was they put in a large group of bins with all the bolts, nuts, and screws that I would ever possibly use, along with the washers to fit, and nuts. So that way I never had to go hunting for a bolt or a screw, and the guys didn't spend all their time running back and forth to the hardware store. Well, Matt at Diesel Creek has done the same thing in his shop. I don't have that now, so I'm going through my supply of used tools, used bolts, nuts, and washers, trying to find one that'll work. Okay, gonna try a little trick. See how this works. Tape might not be strong enough to hold it, but we're gonna give it a shot. All it's got to do is just keep it in there so it doesn't fall out while I set it on in place. Doesn't have to hold the screw down. Doesn't have to do anything more than just be there to keep it from falling out on the floor. So when I do this, it stays together long enough to land on top of those screws. Just like that. Perfect. Now, this one is number 2, so that one goes here. This one is number 1, so that one goes here. And this one is number 3. Since it's the last one, it has to go here. Now these little jaws have to land in this thing and stay right where they're put. Okay, let's see if they do that. Yes, they do. That's good. Okay, so number 3 is going to go let's try this. This is where directions come in so handy. Number 3 should land about there. Oh. Yeah, that helps. You got to put them in the right direction. There we go. Silly mistake. Okay, we got a drawdown. I got my pins sticking out all the way around, just like I want them. Now, this little washer goes on there. Then the spring clip, with it up in the air like that, just slides into place. Just like that. Pop. Pop. And then all I have to do is back off this hold down bolt. And everything goes right where it belongs. Comes off, everything's locked into place. Take off my tape. I'll have to put it back on again when I take it off next time. And there we go. Now, next time I put it together, I'll be working with it greased. Didn't want to do grease this time because I wanted everything to be just a little bit sticky so it stuck together when I wanted it to go together. But the fixture works. Does just fine. Let me disassemble it just as easy. Remember how much trouble I had trying to get this thing apart? Well, not anymore. Just slip these washers out of there, into the pan. Scratch will make life easier. There we go. Now, the thing that got me in trouble last time, I was trying to do this in a vise, take out each pin individually. First two came out just like I wanted, but the third one flew out. Not this time though. It was right into the basket, into the bin just like a good boy. And I'm all set. Take that out, take these jaws out. Now I can clean these up. Get this rust off the back, a little patina off the back of it, get it cleaned up a bit. I'll be able to put it right back together again. Big job, a lot of work, but in the end, I could have spent that much time trying to get the thing back together again and lost the springs at least once. Well, with the jig done, I'm able to take that 3-jaw apart, put it back together again anytime I want. It works really easy. It's not a fancy one, it's just an old piece of plywood. Well, it's actually chipboard, and 4 bolts. A couple of washers. But it's going to work, and if you run into a job like this, think about how you can make your life easier and come up with a way to, you know, cobble something together. It might be spit and baling wire, who knows. As long as it's something that'll hold it in place long enough for you to do the job that you need to do. Then, if you decide that you want to use it a whole lot, you can always improve on it. When you're first making the thing to try it out, any old way to go is good enough. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union without the express written permission of the parents or the legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.